We're moving into lesson 2 exit ticket today. And first we're going to be talking about a table, and then we're going to be talking about a blanket. A table is 2 feet wide. It is 6 times as long as it is wide. Label the diagram with the dimensions of the table. Well, what I can see is that this table consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. And it says right here that it is already 2 feet wide. If I were to label one of the sides of this with 2 feet, it's going to be this right here. Now I know that with a square, all of my sides are the same length. So it's safe to say that this is also 2 feet, which means that this square is also 2 feet, which means that this square is also 2 feet, which means that this is also 2 feet, this is also 2 feet, and finally, this is 2 feet. Which makes sense with our first sentence. It's 6 times as long as it is wide. There's one group of 2 over here, and there's 6 groups of 2 over here, making it 6 times as long. So now we've labeled the diagram with the dimensions of the table, except I haven't actually gone through and added together what all of those dimensions would be. So that's going to be your first step. After you label your 2 feet, figure out what all of these feet would be all together. Make sure that you put in how tall it will be on this end and how long it will be on this end as well, using these numbers that we already have. Next, we're going to find the perimeter of the table. That means that we're going to add 2 feet plus however long that is, plus however tall this is, plus however long that is, to find our perimeter. Notice I'm labeling feet, this unit, with the letters FT in lowercase. That's a shortened way that mathematicians say feet. Now that we've talked about this table, let's talk about a blanket. A blanket is 4 feet wide. It is 3 times as long as it is wide. Okay, well, what I could do is I could visualize a blanket in the same way that we visualized our table. Because first they want us to draw a diagram of the blanket. In the first problem, the table diagram was drawn for us, so now we need to take this step on our own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to still use the same square method that they did for our first problem. Only instead of it being 2 feet on the sides, this time it'll be 4 feet. So I'm going to start with 1 square, okay. This table was 6 times as long as it was wide, which is why we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. This time it's 3 times as long as it is wide. So instead of having 6 squares, I'm going to have 3. Now it's your turn to label the rest. Once you figure out what these lengths are, how much is this side going to be in total? How tall is it on this end? And how long is it on this end? Because once you find these labels, then you need to solve for the area and the perimeter of this. So that means that you'll add our 4 feet plus however long it was, you're going to figure that out, plus how tall it is on this side, plus how long it is on this side, to see how many feet you have in total. For area, we only need to know 2 sides, length, width. So we're going to multiply 4 feet times however long this end is going to end up being to get our answer in feet squared. Don't forget your little hanging 2. All right, you've got some numbers to plug in, so go ahead and get started.